So this is looking much more like an owl. So what I'm going to do next is think of features that he would need to have. So I have this piece of paper, and I'm actually going to use this for his beak. Now, if I asked you guys, well, what shape should I use for his beak, you'd probably lean towards something pointy, like I'm thinking a triangle. So I could take a pencil, I could draw a triangle in the middle there. That gives me a lot of work to do. This rectangle has corners, and if I can visualize just chopping off a corner to be his beak, that could be a triangle. So if I cut it here, that would give me a triangle, but that would be awfully small if I hold it over his face. So I'm thinking I need to go somewhere like right here. So I'm going to chop that off, and I'm going to set it where I think his beak would go. I'm not liking that. I'm just messing. It should go here, right? That looks like that could be a pretty good beak, right? So I'm going to use that for his beak. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And then this paper I could also use for his claws to look like he can hold onto that branch better. So I'm going to place that here and press that down. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to just cut off skinny little pointy shapes. And at first it's like, well, what's that? What is that supposed to be? And I want to do enough to have 3 for each side. So, now these are tiny, so picking them up and gluing them on, this is my little trick. So I'm going to put a little glue on my finger. I'm going to pick it up and stick it down. And if I overlap these, well, try not to get too much glue on your finger. If I pick it up and I stick it down so it's overlapping from his body shape and onto the branch, then it actually looks like he's grabbing a hold with his claws. He's wrapping them around the tree branch, kind of like I'm grabbing onto my arm there. So, a little more glue now. I cut an extra one so I can decide which one looks the best. I like this one. All right, now I can add on some details. I could draw them on with a crayon, with a marker, anything that'll show up. If I use a pencil, I'm not gonna see it very well on this paper. So I'm gonna draw a shape to be his eye. So I'm gonna use the lines that I see on the fold here already. I didn't do that on my other one, but I just realized, you know, there's a line there, so I can actually use that to plan out how his eye looks. So I just connected to that line with semicircles. And then maybe some lines that show his wings that look like feathers. And if I can see his tummy, I did that on my other one, so I put those curved lines. But then I could draw the lines for the feathers on his tail. I'm thinking this could look a little bit more like the nighttime sky if I add something else in there. And we've done a collage where we used some tissue paper before, and we did a strategy where the tissue paper was thin. So I wanted it to look like there's stars in the sky, and I wanted it to look like they're shining, so I'm gonna use this foil. So I'm gonna tear off a piece of this. And what I need to do is plan out where my stars will go. So I'm setting this off to the side for now. And I'm going to put dots of glue wherever I want to put a star in the sky. And I want to think maybe somewhere under the number 10. So if I count, that was 8. I could do like 100, but I don't know if we have that much time together. So what I'm going to do is my same strategy that I did before. I tear off the softer material. If I just stick that on there, it looks like a big chunk of foil glue down there. So I'm going to squish it, and then I'm going to press it down into the glue, and it looks more like a star shape. The nice thing is all stars look kind of different, so they don't all have to look the same. So I squish it and stick it in the glue, and that will dry and stay stuck in there, and it will look like the stars in my nighttime sky. So squish and stick. So tear, squish, and stick. A lot of people think you're supposed to ball it up. If you ball it up, it's going to look pretty different than when you squish it, and then you definitely don't see as much of the shiny part of the foil. And I really think that needs to show to get the idea that these are the stars in the nighttime sky. So squish and stick. All right, guys, so you're working on yours, and I am finishing up mine. So I look forward to seeing what you are going to send me later when you submit your assignment. All right, guys, keep working and good luck.